You after some directions, mister? I'd be delighted to tell you everything about it for the very modest sum of a single ticket. It's a bargain if you ask me. Sure. We can trade for some food if you like. Let's see what you got. Oh, it's you again! You after those directions, mister? Sure thing! You do you. In case you change your mind, you'll find me back here.
Don't bother. I haven't heard anything that'll interest a commoner like you.
Oh dear. Another poor commoner come begging for table scraps. No, I don't want money. Oh, just scram, will you? I am Alden Shawcross of the Shawcross lineage. I'm sure you've heard of us. Now, leave me be. I don't know, ask around. Make connections, be resourceful. Actually, come to think of it, I think Margaret Tenpenny's widower was looking for some help. You'll find him on Bridge Street. Whatever, I'm done talking to you. I live in fear knowing you people can reproduce. I'm busy here.
Please maintain order and carry on. Questions will be answered at a much later time and date. Since when does any gentry care about that? You ain't one of them rich toffs, are you? Look, I don't know much, but I'm happy to help out anyone with two ungilded brain cells to rub together. Feel free to have a gander. Never heard that name before. Officially, no one's been blamed, but I'm sure some powdered wig's gonna point a finger somewhere eventually. Oddly enough, not a soul on the train. When it cracked through the concrete, a few gentry caught the express to the pearly gates, though. Name a reason. This train came from Islington. Do you know the last time a train came from there? I don't. It's been decades since something ran that track, which is why it was all cracked and busted. The train hit an upturned tide and launched itself topside. Then boom! The whole thing exploded into a fiery mess behind me. The gentry, this century, if we're lucky, you could wrap the world in the gentry's red tape. You'd think they would need this railway. Well, they do, and they don't. Since it's inside their walls, they'll fix it, even if it's just to avoid the eyesore. But they don't need it. That track was abandoned, and this lot's got a fully working train line right beneath Westminster. Even you could probably catch a ride.
What? I'm busy.
Am I invisible, or are you an invalid? Which is it?
You're bothering me.
You there? I have a proposition. Honest work for, well, reasonable pay. I recently lost a dear possession of mine, an engagement ring. There's a scrapyard over this wall. It's in there. Please find it. I've been courting a rather emotional woman. She's a handful, but she comes from a good family. Let's just say she didn't appreciate my proposal. Maybe it was because I'd already asked her sister. Who knows? Alas, she threw my ring into the scrapyard, and here we are. Me? In a scrapyard? I don't think so. I have a reputation to uphold. If I was seen crawling around in a place such as that, people would talk. It's an heirloom of sorts. My mother gave it to me after her 5th divorce. Much appreciated. I'm not sure I could handle another rejection at present.
Halt! Citizen! Where do you think you're going? We don't allow just any rabble in there. Who do you think you are? You must be joking. The palace is where Parliament meets. Now, what's your business here? You'd have to be a fool to admit that to a guard. So I'm gonna assume you're joking. Move along. State your business. You want me, a loyal subject of the realm, to give up information like that? How dare you? Dirt like that doesn't come cheap, you know. My word against yours, eh? I fancy my chances. Fine. I'll tell you what I know. Just promise to keep your mouth shut. Someone called Smythe has been putting a lot of pressure on Parliament. They want to round up the Cavaliers and Roundheads against the wall, clean the streets, reclaim the city for the good folk, and so forth. It seems like they hold a lot of power around here, but they've gone completely under the radar. The fact you know their name means you know more than most people. You strike me as someone who can solve problems, violent ones. Am I correct? Maybe you could help me out with a little pest problem we're having. The humankind? They call themselves Cavaliers, but they're just uptight hooligans. They have some kind of feud with another group, the Roundheads. A gentleman who owns a house in the area would very much like to sell it. Unfortunately, it's currently home to some unofficial owners, squatters. Here's the location of the house. Get rid of them.
It must be horrible to live in places without luxury.
Right, you're finished. For the mother! Served my
God, what are you doing? No. Sorry, I can't even mock outrage. Steal away.
Queen and country.
Roundhead! Will these Roundheads never learn?
I was just getting warmed up. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is a chance to escape. This show.
Hey,
Quite used to emerging victorious from things.
there you are.
Things were feeling fine.
This is...
And it's not.
Reveal yourself.
Loyal.
Did you hear me? I said reveal yourself. My goodness! Wait! You're finished!
You're back. I trust the house is ready for its new owner. Good, good. Anyway, someone called Smythe has been putting a lot of pressure on Parliament. They want to round up the Cavaliers and Roundheads against the wall, clean the streets, reclaim the city for the good folk, and so forth. It seems like they hold a lot of power around here, but they've gone completely under the radar. The fact you know their name means you know more than most people. Calm down, don't shit yourself. I'll tell you how to get inside. Legitimately, I mean. There's an old law you might be able to make use of. A Parliament Representation Act 2177. They have to let you in if a representative from each tithe-paying London borough signs your petition. These days that would be Camden, Hackney, Lambeth, and Islington. That'll be a tricky one. Eastminster gets out on a technicality. They pay the tithe, but the law in question doesn't consider them a borough. The rest is simple. For one reason or another, they don't pay the tithe. You'd think the syndicate in the Tower Hamlets would, but they have their own arrangement. Trust me, there isn't. To tell you the truth, I've never even been inside. How am I supposed to know? Go there and ask them. That's because it is. Never told you it would be easy. Your determination is impressive. This is off the record, but if you aren't able to get any of the signatures, I know a guy who might be able to help. His name's Clifford. Sits in the cafe on Bridge Street most days, but he doesn't come cheap. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.